Good evening, everybody. How's it going? It's me, Comic Crack. It's Saturday night because there's no chat tomorrow. Rasa is unable to make it, so nothing happening tomorrow. And then next weekend I'm away, so a couple of weeks without our kind of usual Sunday hangout. And I felt like doing this tonight. Back in the day of Friday night live streams and Saturday night live streams, I remember a time where there was quite a lot, early days of kind of looking into comics YouTube, and starting the channel. There was always, it seemed like there was always live streams on the weekend, especially the round table. So in that spirit, I figured I'd kind of sign on and see if anybody's around and do a bit of chatting. We'll see if anybody shows up. If you do, welcome. Talk to me. What's going on? If not, talk in the comments afterwards. A couple of things that I picked up, and then talk about some stuff that I read. I went to Fantasy Club Books again today to support Austin and that fantastic shop here in Winnipeg. Bought a few things. It's goddamn pricey. I'm glad I don't go there every week. I'm happy that he's the size that he is. It's great. Part of me wish that he had a bigger place and a lot more options? Absolutely. But I feel like I would be bankrupt if that was the case, because there's always just a great selection. Even the small amount that he does have, he does a really good job of bringing some stuff in. And it's always fantastic to support that kind of stuff. I'd be doing it anyway. It's nice to also support a local business at the same time. While I was there, I'll show this one first. I found a copy of Moms that we were talking about in the stream, where I think it was last Sunday, actually. One of the free comic book day books that I got from Nate. It had a sampler of some Korean comics from Drawn and Quarterly, and this one was in, and there it was on the shelf. So I grabbed it. I'm really looking forward to reading this. I haven't sat with it yet. I haven't even really flipped through it, to be honest. But I'm very much looking forward to this. Kind of your traditional manga-ish size. What do we got here? So those of you that know Orochi, so almost identical in size, actually, to Orochi. So nice little volume, nice soft cover. Unfortunately, they didn't have any of the other books from Drawn and Quarterly on the shelf, but this one was a really nice find for sure. I think I dented the cover there. So that's top of the pile reading for sure. I'm going to put that right there as a matter of fact. Let's look at... So a couple of the other things that I grabbed from Fantasy Club. I have not read this one yet. But this is this issue number 2? Not sure what issue of Cyanide Swamp this is now. Fucking gorgeous cover and interior cover by Christian Santiago. You can find him on Instagram. I found him on Instagram and I'm following him right away. He also does the inside covers as well. From the little bit that I've looked at, it appears that he only does kind of, I don't know if you'd call it fine art, but like paintings and art. I didn't see anything in my little bit of looking of him doing comics. This is a really gorgeous style. I gotta say, like, I picked something else from Reptile House today as well, too. I got the issue 2 of Nosebleed that we'll talk about. They're really... It feels like every single issue that comes out of, no matter what they do, they're stepping up the game of production, because this is a gorgeously packaged comic here. The cover stock is really nice. They're a really impressive little company, and it's strange to think about how they started with just the Reptile House Comics kind of mini anthology zine. There's a look at who's in this particular issue of Cyanide Swamp. Like I said, haven't read this one yet, but Tia Roxe is in there. Noel Freebert, Nick Bunch, Nicole Rodriguez. So some names that I'm familiar with. I don't think I know the name Elliot Beck. I'm not sure, but it doesn't sound familiar to me. T. Roxay right off the top. Not a bad style, a little bit different than I'm used to her and the little bit of things that I've read from her. Doesn't look too bad, but there's something kind of missing from this story compared to my memory of what her other art looked like, but still looks very rewarding. This next one is Rerata Rojo, I think, or it's Gabrielle Mason Howell. I'm not sure, but this is the one that kind of, on a flip through, this is the one that impressed me the most, other than the cover art. This looks really fantastic, really kind of fluid storytelling here. And again, like putting stuff like this in a world of comics, I think really makes you look at things a little differently. This one I did sort of read, I guess, because it just drew me in as I was flipping through. And it really does a good job of kind of moving your eye through the page and sort of following like this very fluid type of movement with some really, really impressive art, I think, anyway. I really dig the looks of this here. So this is really good. I'm going to have to make sure that I get exactly the names correct so I can do a little bit of digging to see what else they've done. Yeah. And then it just kind of carries on as we keep moving through. So I'm looking forward to this particular issue. Reptile House, don't sleep on Reptile House. Check out their website and don't hesitate to kind of try stuff out from Reptile House for the more adventurous people out there. This I did read that, and I did read this. Okay, so the last three that I grabbed from Fantasy Club I did actually read already. Two of them are follow-ups to books that I've read. Issue 1. So this is Marion from Glom Press, which is the comics publisher out of Australia. This is issue 2 of our kind of it's a witch in modern times. Get a little nice quote from Gabrielle Bell on the back there. Entertaining, just like the first one. I think I kind of like the first one better. It also feels like maybe it's a book that didn't necessarily need a follow-up. Still well worth the time, I think. But if there's any more issues, I don't know if I'd be eager to kind of continue with this unless it really took a sharp turn. But just kind of a little bit more of the same of what we had with issue 1. Really nice looking art, though. Really nice looking package. So not a horrible pickup by any stretch. Josh Pettinger, you know him from Manga Chat, along with Simon Henselman. I've always got to triple check names on things. This is Power Wash. This came out in 2022, and finally getting my hands on it and giving it a try. It's pretty goddamn funny. Tedward is our main character in this one, and we see that it starts out with him breaking up with his girlfriend, or her breaking up with him rather, and he sort of he descends a little bit pretty quickly, talking about you're breaking up with me. Why? Is it something I did? My haircut? It's a classic high and tight, slightly outgrown for comfort. Really, really great. So as he's kind of contemplating offing himself because he's so distraught, he's kind of rescued last minute from a recruiter who wants him as part of their organization. And cut to the gist of it, he becomes brought into this world where he is now a power washer, and he's off on his first job, and he has his trainer there. They get suited up and go into a house where an orgy is currently taking place, and his job as the power washers, you can probably imagine from this point on where it goes. But it was very, very funny. Really nice little story, easy to read, just beautiful art. ridiculous, just the way I like it. So really, really good stuff there. That was really enjoyable. This is the one that I went back to pick up. When I got Nosebleed #1, he did mention that he had a copy of issue #2. He was reading it at the time, and he'd bring it back to the shop for next time I'm in. So sent him a message before I came down to make sure that he had it. This was the last copy. Really glad I got it. This first issue, the first issue we talked about before, a group of kids getting bullied. They have some powers, and they basically explode one of the characters' heads, one of the bullies' heads. And it just kind of escalates from there. We're left off in the story with this discovery of a plane crash and these pills. There's these government agents that are being sent to retrieve all the cargo. They notice that a couple of the pill bottles are taken away, and they run across one of the kids in the forest, and that's kind of where that issue left off. This one picks up right there. We get a reminder of the story so far and some of the characters. Another really solid issue, minus maybe the last couple of pages, which I'll get to in a second. Really enjoyed this. The pacing is really good. The story is really fucking engaging. We get these touches. We can see that things are going a little wrong for the couple of kids, the two kids that are the main parts of the story here, who are on these pills. One of them has discovered a power that he can kind of teleport from place to place by really giving it some thought. And our other main character is really in the throes of violent aggression and appears to be having a bit of a loss of control of some of it. So just a super good story. We get introduced to the parents of the kids that are killed, the bullies that were killed, and they're starting to ask questions. And of course, they're distraught because it's their children. So they want to know what the hell is going on. The cops aren't providing them any answers. They are pretty sure they know who did it. I think you can probably guess where that's going to go from there. Oh, we also get introduced to a couple of other kind of agents from another organization that are being sent to kill the other agents who were supposed to retrieve all this product. So there's a couple of government agencies kind of working, secret government agencies working against each other. Really, really interesting as well. Where I feel like there was a bit of a cop-out, the parents that are going to, they want to get answers, and it appears like they want to take the law into their own hands. They kind of have this meeting at one of the mother's houses, and they're kind of in her study or whatever and talking. Cut to the next page, and we get a close-up of the bookshelf, and it's things like Mein Kampf and shit like that. And I was really disappointed when I turned to reveal these two pages, which are, I believe, the very last two pages of this issue. It's a shitty kind of cop-out, to be honest. I wish they would have played more into the grieving parents type of aspect and played with the bullying and who's now being bullied and et cetera, et cetera. I feel like there's a lot more ground there that would be much more interesting, instead of, hey, check it out, they're white supremacists. Oh, isn't that crazy? Our characters are people of color, and let's make sure that we, it just felt a little like groan. It was a bit of a groan for me when I got to these pages, to be honest. If there's a third issue, which I assume one is coming at some point, I'll absolutely continue with the story. But I'd be lying if I said that wasn't a bit of a letdown getting to those last pages there. The rest of this is really fucking good, though. Derek Jones, again, Reptile House, beautiful cover, nice thick issue, stellar fucking job from Reptile House. I'm really, really impressed. There's some credits there for Derek Jones art and reptilehousecomics.com, and then written and drawn by Derek Jones, and then letters, logo design. There you go. So there's the full credits for issue 2 of Nosebleed. So that's all that I got from Fantasy Club Books. I also went to the flea market today. Shout out to 420. If you know 420 from the chat here, and if you're not subscribed to his channel, he had a couple of videos come out about everything that he grabbed from the C4 comic convention last weekend that I unfortunately didn't get to attend, only the last little bit. It sounds like, and it looks like from watching his video, there was a lot of amazing comics and a lot of great prices out there. He got himself a stack of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He got some dollar bin. He got a ton of dollar bin stuff and a lot of really, really great stuff. So if you're not subscribed, you should go check him out and watch those videos. Shows off a nice wide range. Like, I feel like it's sort of, his channel is kind of sort of in line with this one and a few others that I really enjoy. It's not just one style of comic that he talks about. He talks about all sorts of stuff. Even when it's X-Men, I don't hit fast forward. I promise you, I still watch every single second of the X-Men coverage. But then he'll talk about indie books. He'll talk about European stuff as well. So it's great to see that. Although because he's in Winnipeg, it's direct competition for the same books that I'm looking for, because there's been many times watching his video like, shit, if I was there, I would have grabbed that one, So anyway, shout out to him. He threw a message out there in his last video that Thirsties had some Post Brothers in some dollar bins there from this guy named Bobby, who used to work at 204 Comics. I went to check out his bins today. Unfortunately, the Post Brothers stuff was gone, so I didn't get my hands on any of that. But I did find a little Batman Adventures mini graphic novel-ish kind of thing and started reading it right away. I think I've read the first 3 issues already. No surprise, of course I love it. I'm sure I have these issues as well too, but I just thought this was a nice little format to kind of fit in your back pocket type of book to parade around out there and read it while you're riding the bus, purchasing groceries in the checkout line. Maybe you could pop this out and have a little read of Batman laying down some criminals. So really cool. My daughter found a manga as well too. It was an offshoot from My Hero Academia or something like that. So it was not the main title, but like the offshoot, one of the offshoots in issue number 1. So it was $5. So I figured that's a no-brainer to pick up for. So this was great. Nothing else there, unfortunately. Went to pick up my pull list from 204 Comics, and there was nothing on it this week. So I grabbed some books off the shelf, and I found a book in the cheap bin, which was a nice surprise. So one of the books, he only had 1 copy left, and I'm glad that I picked it up. I'm glad I didn't miss out on it. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with it. This really didn't do too much for me. This is the Mothra Queen of the Monsters miniseries. Pretty amazing looking art in here. I will say that. I mean, even just opening this page, it immediately makes me change my mind that I'll probably end up picking up issue 2. So credits are story by Sophie Campbell, art by Matt Frank and Sophie Campbell. Sophie Campbell did pages 9 and 17, I think it says. Letters by Nathan Whittick. There's your credits there. Yeah, not too bad. Kind of, 2 sisters, 2 twins, giant monsters attacking the city, running away, getting separated, growing up under the kind of looming, ever-present giant monsters, and being a little resentful that Mothra didn't come and save them. So kind of, I'd say a little more of a typical kind of premise to some of the Godzilla stuff as well too. But really nice looking art. I love the mix of stuff that almost looks like it's just black and white and like sepia toned, and then you get these pops of color for the giant monsters. Of course, they get reunited, and we're also introduced to the 2 princesses, Mothra, that always sing to kind of bring Mothra, call to Mothra to come and save them, or whatever the premise was for them in the movie. So it wasn't bad, but it wasn't too much. Not that I'm expecting a ton from Godzilla comics, but when things like -1 and Shin Godzilla happen in the movies, you often think that there's a chance that maybe some of that magic will extend over to some of these comics as well too. Fun looking book. I don't know if it's a rush out to buy unless you're a big Sophie Campbell fan or if that artwork appealed to you. A couple of other things here. Well, we'll stick with Godzilla for now because I did pick up Godzilla Heist issue number 2. It wasn't on my pull list. I could have sworn I put it on there, so made sure to add this to my pull list so I don't miss out. Kind of continues again right from where we left off. The big heist is happening. Our main character, who sort of controls Godzilla, or at least knows how to kind of direct him, is kind of front and center. Story by Van Jensen, art by Kelsley Ramsey, colors by Heather Breckel. Again, not a lot here. I'm kind of left with the same thing I thought at the end of the first issue. It's kind of an interesting premise. I don't know how well it's being executed or if I'm really interested in it, to be honest. There is a little bit more to our main character's story that I think was hinted at in issue number 1 that we don't really get unless I missed it. I feel like we didn't really get any more of those hints in issue number 2. So maybe that's also what kind of took me out of it a bit. The art is still pretty cool. I do like the look. Again, I wish it looked like these covers. I understand why it doesn't, but that would be incredible. So we just kind of get a lumbering monster kind of story as they're bringing him closer to the intended target. And that's where I'll leave that one. I won't tell you more than that. And then a couple of things that I picked up that I didn't read yet. I'm going to keep going with this Gatchaman. I got number 8. Did I get number 9 as well? I thought I either got number 7 and 8 or I got number 8 and 9. Either way, I have 2 issues of this. I just don't know where I put the other one. 2 issues of the main Gatchaman title. This one looks more like the classic kind of animated TV shows brought to a comic. It looks like a load of fun. Beautiful coloring, big panels, lots of action. Yeah, I'm kind of impressed with this one. I haven't read the 2 issues yet, but I'm really curious about this universe. So again, shout out to Mad Cave for putting this together. And most importantly, shout out to Mad Cave for giving us a very easy to understand list of what the fuck is going on and which book is with what. So I think it's worth it just on kind of looking. I'm really enjoying that other Gatchaman title so far, which is called Only One Earth, the Only One Earth miniseries. So there's your Gatchaman. Juniba's Monkey Meat. Yeah, Juniba's Monkey Meat number 2 is out. Another one that I instantly put on my pull list because I forgot to after number 1. This is going to be a 5-issue miniseries, and it looks to be the same as we got introduced to with the first one. It's that same great kind of newsprint, thick newsprint paper. Really, really nice art from him in this as well too. And let's give you a little sample of some other stuff. We get our usual kind of games and ads throughout it, making it a whole package. Kind of seems like an anthology sent from another world. So it's a good job of kind of really drawing you in. There isn't anything really to take you out of the universe in the book. I don't even think they have. Yeah, they don't even have any ads for other image titles at the back. It completely just goes cover to cover, keeping you in the Monkey Meat world here. So really nice job on that one. And then finally, from his cheap bins, he's always got graphic novels on for dirt cheap. I always end up looking through them because there have been a couple of times where something has been interesting. Lo and behold, Appleseed Book 1 hardcover from Eclipse Comics. I've got some of I don't have the full series in single issues. It's one of those that it's hard to kind of fill in those gaps, and I haven't really been chasing it. After this first volume, I think I'm going to correct that and really start to chase the rest of this. Tonight, I'm actually going to go through the boxes to see what I'm missing and what I have. This was really an enjoyable read. This is, I believe it collects the first 6 issues. Let's see from the titles. It looks to be 7 issues actually, but I'm not sure that that's right, because one of the stories, yeah, I don't think it's 7 issues. I think there might have been broken up into a couple of shorter parts for some reason. I'd have to look through the singles if I've got the singles from this volume 1. This is Studio Proteus and Eclipse from 1989. So this is right in. This is the first printing. I don't know if at some point this had a dust jacket that got lost. I'm fine without having a dust jacket. It doesn't bother me too much here. But this is early days of Eclipse putting stuff out. So there's ads for Cyber 7, Dirty Pair, and Appleseed. This isn't the first wave, but it's early wave of manga hitting the shores. So it's kind of post-apocalyptic world. Surprise, surprise. Book 1, the Promethean Challenge. So we get introduced to our main characters. We see kind of the world that's surrounding them, and we see the two of them. One is a human and one is a robot, and just kind of their day-to-day survival. They think that they're on their own until, of course, they find out that they're not. And they're brought in by a group of people that have this society for the remaining humans. And as we kind of go through the story, we learn some things like that the majority of the humans in this new world are clones. I don't know. I can't remember. I think they might have said like 80%. So there isn't a real chance of kind of naturally reproducing the human race. And it just kind of expands from there. It does a really good job of kind of pacing throughout the whole thing, to be honest. And there's some really nice art in here. I love this kind of classic manga style. It screams kind of Akira and that entire kind of world there. So this was really a solid read. And like I said, I need to dig through the boxes to see what else I have, and maybe start dipping into some of the other stuff. Dominion, I think, was one that Eclipse did. There's a few of the manga that they did where I don't have all of the issues. I should start trying to hit those a lot harder and filling in those gaps so I can keep reading. Yeah, not much else to say about this one in particular, but like I said, just a good read. I'm sure I'm really late to the game with Appleseed. I know that it's one of the more popular titles. There's been some anime and things as well too, which I also haven't seen. But again, based on this, I need to do some more digging. And that is it. Nobody is around tonight, which is totally fine. It's Saturday. Everybody's out partying, I guess. Thanks for watching. If you're tuning in after the stream, and we'll talk to you.